All right, so this is a nurse that was attacked by a Afghan migrant. Uh, and so she's going around doing her job, helping people, healing people, contributing to society, paying a good deal of taxes, and an African migrant bashes her in the head with a crowbar. Now, you can't see exactly how bad it is, but reported head injuries in the United States of America are 2.8 million to 3.8 million. This does not include brain injuries that are not discovered, brain injuries that are not reported, and underreported crime. So when you compare this to a nation like Italy, Italy has about 200 to 800 cases per 100,000 people. This means about 240,000 people will have a traumatic brain injury that is discovered. Now, Italy's population is only around 59 million, while the US is around 340 million. And so this number is going to come out to around 240,000 at a population of 59 million. That means that the US, with its current war being waged on it, violence is extremely common in the US. People attack people and they get away with it. They walk away scot-free. Cops don't do anything. And so this means that while the US is roughly 5.5 times the population size of Italy, they have 16.5 times the traumatic brain injuries of Italy. These are people legally waging a war as the government protects them. And this is a war tactic that is extremely common to cause fear and take over via illegal means. If you can beat the population into subjection, well, then you will rule over the population. And if there is a government or police force protecting them while this is done, interestingly enough, this exact same thing is taking place in the UK, as there are 16,000, I think there were 24,000 in total knife incidents in the UK this year, 2025. The government isn't really doing anything. And so if this is what you're letting your government do not expect good results, right? You can cover it up. You can produce fake numbers, right? You can fluff up the numbers and you can underreport crime, but long term, it's not going to matter at all. Okay, a great ruler is not sweeping things under the rug. A great ruler is tackling issue after issue, day after day, and making sure his people are safe so that they can do exactly what they all want to do and thrive and work and build an awesome life for themselves. So understanding that any government that in which this becomes too widespread, 16.5 times the amount of Italy's traumatic brain injuries, it's gotten a little out of control. And so it's pretty simple how to address these, right? You get tough on crime, you get creative, right? The Bible does not say that as people of the faith, you have to walk around with one hand tied behind your back, and you have to fight fair. You have to take it trial by trial. You have to know 100%. It doesn't say anything like that. It says, uphold righteousness, appoint just judges, drive evil out, drive wickedness out, right? So understanding this sort of weak neo-religion that has been propagated, in which Jesus is sort of a pacifist, this is 100% false religion. Any nation that practices this, where they become too peaceful and too domesticated, or they surrender their weapons like Ukraine, etc., will collapse. Okay, so that is the power, that is the potential that a religion has in a nation, right? America is 60, 70, 80% Christian. So understanding this is important. And right, some people, though, you ask them, hey, are you Christian? They say no, right? But they actually are, right? So understanding this is important, because if rulers do not get smarter than people with IQ below 100 who are going around bashing other people and not building up their own lives, which is totally detrimental to themselves. The low IQ will subjugate the high IQ, right? Your citizens will leave, right? This is the mass exodus that is taking place in the UK, right? Half $500 billion has left the UK, right? And so right around April, they're going to start seeing this, right? And so the government, get ready to see Keir Starmer's regime start to panic, because once a government loses enough money to play with, well, they're in big trouble, right? They have to get desperate and create other avenues to of financing, right? Now, in the world today, right, it may take a little while as they can borrow and bring their nation further down, but understanding that these tactics, these are not biblical to let go on in your nation. They are not good. They are not going to have a good effect, right? Having 4 million Americans having their heads bashed a year, or having accidents, whatever. Accidents are going to be included in this 4 million number, but the 4 million number is probably closer to 8 million, something like that. Understanding that it is being underreported drastically, right? Sometimes, you know, a person attacks you and you run away, and that's that, and they don't report it. Sometimes people get robbed and they say, whatever, I only had 20 bucks in my wallet, I didn't care about that wallet, I don't want to go through the police report. So understanding that these crime numbers, especially in regards to rape, are underreported by 5 to 10 times in regards to rape. This does not include governments trying to shuffle it under the carpet so that nobody knows, so that their government appears to be working very, very well. It can't be tolerated, right? If you want a peaceful, good society, well, you imagine a peaceful, good society and what you think a kind of utopia looks like, and then you take the necessary steps to get there, right? So understanding this is important, because as people are fleeing the cities in the U.S., right, and lo and behold, the U.S. is still publishing, oh yeah, the cities are doing great. So get this, okay? The U.S. is publishing that the cities are doing great, but we all know, and we've seen, that people are fleeing the cities. Crime is rising drastically in the cities. Corruption's taking over. What do you think the chances that corruption and crime are having a positive effect on the city's economic data, and that the cities are still producing the same amount of finance? It's about zero, right? And so some auditing might need to take place in those cities in the USA, unless the government wants to step in and take care of business, which is the government's job to do. And so 30 to 50% of these people with traumatic brain injuries report a cognitive impairment, right? And so they are changed for the rest of their lives. So people not going to jail, not getting punished for these sort of things, it's ludicrous, right? It is extreme detriment to any nation that is foolish enough to let these sort of people in. And understanding that this will have long-term effects on your nation, permanent effects on your nation and your nation's people. There's a lot of people on X saying, man, America this, we're seeing all this widespread corruption, it's creating a negative sentiment, etc. Understanding this is important, because if you don't protect your people, you're going to have no people left. And understanding that is important.